Hello again. This is the Watering Man, Spiritual Toolbox number 228. John chapter 3, recording number 77, and audio recording number 546, examination table number 206. Let's continue the dissection of this thing. Get down and learn what we can now. Okay? So we can be more informed to make the correct decision, God's decision. Agree with God. All the other stuff is disagreeing. Don't matter if it's good or bad. Your own righteousness, you're feeding from the wrong tree. From that tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and it'll kill you. It'll separate you from God. You can only get there one way, through Jesus Christ, right? Jesus, I-E-S-O-U-S. Yahweh is salvation. Not me, myself, and I. Not that ego dog. Not your own right thinking. Well, I think this way. I think that way. Nope. Not because your own carnal mind is telling you you're a dirty, rotten dude if you do this. Nope. It's God's way. So not that carnal dog telling you, go this way. It's a straight line to where you want to get. Nope. Not if God's telling you to go a different way. You go that way. God's way. All the other ways are thieves and robbers. Right? Like in John chapter 10, verse 1 through 10. Try to get there into God's righteousness, God's pasture, God's love that's beyond the description of mere words, increasing back into that love in your mind, not out here, in your mind, the Holy of Holies. God's purifying it. Not you, God. Agree with Him. Be reasonable, my child. See my way. Right? Let's agree in hot pursuit. Follow me. Right? That's what Christ said. When He called out His disciples as disciplined ones. Follow me. Don't just settle for a water baptism. That's you dedicating yourself. That's okay. But that's just very limited. You got to habitually practice repenting. Metanoia. Change the way you think about that stuff. Recognize, autonomize in this. When God spins it up there in the storms of life. Separates it. Man, that old stuff I thought I was, that's awful. Spit that stuff out. That's bullshit. It's worthless and detestable. Get me to God. Get out of here, dog. Put a duct tape and a sock. Put a muzzle on that dog. Be still. So I can hear what God's telling me. And as God gives you ear to hear what the Spirit says, you shama it. Shama what God is telling you. Hear intelligently, not only with the intent to respond positively to it, but just obey it. And get this great gain, and get it with amazing gratitude. Oh my goodness, this is beyond anything I could understand. This is so awesome. Remember, God's ways are easy. The burden's light. It's not this like getting from level 64 to 126 or 128. 64 to 128. Doubled the number wrong. 64 to 128. Right? Yeah. That is just in all these levels: 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, and 1, plus relying upon that one that says, that carnal mind says, that's just zero. Really, it's a nothing. That's absolute zero. No. God put His seed, a measure of faith, in all. Romans 12:3, right? A limited portion. That's His seed. He put that in you. And that faith is when you believe, relying totally, resting, relying upon that totally, and all these things that God's given you. That's Him. That's of Him, His love, His glory. In each and every thought process. Then you just add that one, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Right? Don't lean upon your own understanding, and He will give you the increase. Right? Wow, wow, wow. Then you go to the next level. Like from 64 to 128. My goodness, from 128 to 256. And this is in one thought process. He's purifying it. Boiling up that water. And getting that bitter vinegar solution. Slap that dog down. Tell it, you quacking parakeet, you beast nature, you shut that up. Shut that stuff up. Quit calling God a monster. Quit pretending to be my friend. You're not. You're a liar. The truth's not in you. Get out of here. Beat it, you dog. Right? Like in Isaiah chapter 30, verses 19 through 22. Ew, yeah, get out. Okay? Get that stuff out of you. Beat it. Ugh. Right? That's detestable. Don't keep sticking that hog slop in your mouth. Think you're going to get strong. You're going to get strong in the Lord doing that. That thing's not your king. Don't be an unclean animal. Just eat that slop, not even think about it. Don't regurgitate, be a clean animal. Think about it. Meditate on it. Turn from it. Autonomize it. Whoa! Thank you, Father. Turn from that old stuff and go to God. Well, He gives you increase. Not just tiptoe through the tulip. I'm just enjoying life. But it's a temporary. It's vanity of vanities, right? That Havel. Hebel. King Solomon's talking about, right? This is a progressive teaching. So you better go back and look at, study the other videos. It's not just that. Go back and look at it and take it in and think about it. Be a good, clean animal. Be a good Berean. Study it. See if it resonates. Getting it to resonate. To him that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. The called out ones. Not out here. External. Just a building or something. Not just the people. Internally. In your thought processes. All the way down in there. The Holy of Holies. Outer court. Holy place. Holy of Holies. Down inside of you. Let God purify you. The baptism of the Holy Spirit. Let Him give you that permanent increase. Little by little by little by little by little. Back into His right-mindedness. Take off your own righteousness, your own right-mindedness, and go to God's. God's righteousness, God's right-mindedness. Green light God, don't red light Him. Okay. Now, we're in John chapter 3, verse 13. We'll continue there. All right. Alrighty. Let's read it from the King James language again. Let's skim that bad boy, and then we're going to get in there and dig. We're going to look at it. We're going to think about it. We're going to regurgitate. Get it in there. Start looking at it. I want all that you got for me, Daddy. I don't want to settle for this skimming bull crap. Man, I miss so much doing that. That old stinky snake in me is twisting it to my own destruction doing that. I don't want to settle for that. Dude. Right? Go on beyond. If God permit, you'll go on beyond these rudimentary or elementary principles of this, all this junk. It's just this simple baby stuff. Stop eating just the pablum in the bottle. Blah, 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 blah. Go on beyond that. Grow up in the Spirit. All right. Now in John chapter 3, verse 13, it says, and no man hath ascended up to heaven, but he that came down from heaven, even the Son of Man, which is in heaven. Okay? If you stop there, you're not going on. Okay? Man, there sure is a lot of water out there. Them dude sitting on the fishing bank out the lake, looking out there. Man, there sure is a lot of water out there. Hadn't even experienced hardly none of it. That's worse. That's not even having a real theory about it. Amongst us experiencing it and really making it a reality, getting it to be his gospel. That person's gospel. Their good news. Going on, get from level 1 to 2 to 4 to 8. Then all the way in there, that 8, 4, and then relying upon that seed of Christ that the carnal mind's calling a 0 to get to the next level. All this is your gospel, your good news. This is my gospel now. Nobody else can take it from me. It's mine. And that's my thermostat. I reflect that out. Not shining outside the cup. You just try to look at your reflection in that, and all kinds of insides blacker than the ace of spades. Is ignorant of God's love, God's righteousness. It ain't gonna get you nowhere. That's like following the old Pharisee or the false teachers. Duh, 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 duh. Oh, eat some more hog sop. Yeah, that's the way to do it, son. Not going on that way. Getting all calloused up in a new wine, then later on, bust your bubble. Can't take you in the new wine. New revelation. New understanding, disclosure of the truth of God. His love beyond words. Can't understand that, man. Gotta be faithful, obedient in the small things, 1 to 2 to 4 to 8, to get that bigger things, like from 1024 to 2048, to 4096, wow, to 8192, wow, 16,384, wow, it's getting humongous. And then it really starts taking off. See, a legion is only 4,000 to 6,400. Right there, you're already at 16,384, and then it's going to really start growing. Really start purifying that one thought process. And you got a whole myriad of those thought processes. Come on, man. Go on beyond those rudimentary or elementary principles. Get all that baby land stuff. All that Babylon stuff. Religious separative. Yeah. I shine up that old metal mirror that's all scarred up and got like poop. And man, it's like, hey, look at that reflection here. Don't you dare look inside, though. That's too personal. You get too close now to me, son. You're thinking too much. No. Don't stay in the outer court or just the holy place. Go in to the Holy of Holies that God's taken you in. You have taken me past the outer court. Past the priest who sings praise. Past the brazen altars. Lord, I long to see your face. You passed me by the crowds of people. See, broad is the way to destruction, and many are that'll go that way. But the narrowing path to life, to the true life in God, the fullness of life in God, inside, in your mind, Oh, I gotta hang now. I quit, God. Broadway. You big sissy. Big pussy cat. Meow. Right? Go on beyond that if you're tough enough. Ain't that tough enough? Right? Jesus suffered all things as a man. Wow. You got to do it his way, not your way. And it's not just out there and hit yourself with a hammer and say, man, I'm suffering for that. You did it to yourself. Your own works. Club yourself down. What are you doing? I went over and put my hand on that burn and burned the heck out of it. Look at that, man. It's burned up. Oh, I'm suffering for God. No, you're not. You're being an idiot. You're being stupid. Cut it out. Quit listening to that butthole dog inside of you. Bark, 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 bark. That parakeet going, bark. You gotta fear God, bark. Bark and quack. That's what it's up like. It's a bunch of garbage. It's not speaking the language of God, in the tongues of God, the love beyond the description of mere words. No. All right? Go on. Now, let's get down here. Now, we're in that word we covered, in that verse 13 of John chapter 3, we covered, and no man hath ascended up. That's that Anabino, or Bino, I think. Let me see.
Strong's G 305,
Anabino, okay? And we said as a verb, and it came from 303 and 939, right? And it's to ascend, to go up, just like that. You're burning up that garbage thinking, or getting it skimmed off, but you're burning up you're burning up that old carnality. God's burning it up, saying, yes, sir, Daddy, chop it out, skim it out, way out, burn that stuff up. And when it's doing it, like in the natural, your garbage, it's not destroying the whole thing. The energy in that garbage, that spirit, can be destroyed. It's just transforming it chemically, and always in an upward manner. From your natural righteousness being burned up and transformed into a higher state of being. We'll go. I'll take you somewhere here in a little bit, either on this one or another one. Okay, and give you just a little bitty thing. There's a lot more, but I'll just give you a little bit of it. Okay, for now. Okay. And the Strong's is albino, or albino. It means to go up. Okay? From your own carnal righteousness, your own me, myself, and I, your tree of knowledge of good and evil, going up to the tree of life, to God's righteousness, to God's love beyond words. My love is conditional. It's not even that. All the way up to God's. God's ways are way above our ways. Higher. Yep, for sure. Okay. Now, let's see here. That came from two words, 303. That albino, anabino. It came from Anna, A-N-A, this word.
Strong's G 303, Anna.
Okay. And that's, hang on a minute. I know I wrote it down. Well, okay, I got it on down here. I'll just get it real quick. It says, one of the online biblical uses, into the midst, in the midst, amidst, among, between. Okay? Anna, okay? Now, let's look at this. And the base of 939. 939 is this.
Strong's G 939. Basis.
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 B-A-S-I-S. Feminine noun. And it's from bino. It's to walk, to live. Like he's cutting away that fleshy thinking. Boop, boop. Burning away the garbage. And you live, walk in between it. Covenant, right? Is that the way they did a covenant? Cut, burn, animal sacrifice, the beast nature on each side and walk, live right between it. All right, now, yeah, it's at God's pace. Okay, now, let's get back here. See, and no man hath ascended up to heaven, okay? And we got, and no man hath ascended up, and that too is ice, E-I-S, this word.
Strong's G 1519. Ice. Ice.
That's into, to, towards, okay? It's to or into, indicating the point reached or entered. You're entering into God. Right? Like ek, from out of that old righteousness. Ice, to, towards, and into. And then en and syn. Resting, relying upon God. In God. And then syn. In union with God. How it's happening. And you're walking, living through this stuff. In your mind. Okay? Now it's going after that word. That's just translated as to, which is very incomplete understanding of that thing, right? I gave you just a little glimpse. It'll grow. Okay? Now the next word is a very familiar word, H-O. Ha. 3588, and I didn't even translate it. But it's this one, that one, the definite article. It's that marble of muddied water. God zipping it up there in that storm and that centrifuge, separating that dirt thinking, your old fleshly thinking, and God's thinking. Now choose, my child. And as you agree in hot pursuit and turn from that old poop, your own righteousness, and go into Him full bore, everything you got, at whatever level, all that level, and then trust in that seed of Christ, full bore. God's giving a relationship builder. Boom! Double. Green light. Green light, you qualify. Boom! Double. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. And lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him. And He will direct your path, your course of life, the way you think. Okay? Now, let's go on. Now, let's see, we covered down here. And no man hath ascended up to, and then they got that ha, which we just covered, that marble thinking, that muddied ball of water that God's purifying. If you just agree, you gotta be reasonable, agree with me, my child. Sit my way. Alright? And it says, to heaven. That's, I think it's Uranos, O-U-R-A-N-O-S, 3772.
Strong's G 3772. Uranos. Uranos.
Okay. Now, that word comes from the base. It's a masculine noun, and it comes from the base at 3735, and it's through the idea of elevation. God's burning up that old and elevating your thinking processes back into Him, giving you greater and greater understanding of His great righteousness, His love, God's right way of thinking, that love that's beyond the description of mere words. To him that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. Not this outside thing, outer court. Not just people, holy place. Inside, the Holy of Holies. In your very thought processes where God is working. Don't be tricked by that daggone bastard dog. It's an illegitimate son. It's trying to take the place of trying to be king of your mind, of your thinking, trying to tell you what to do. It's trying to be the alpha dog, alpha beast nature. It's not the true alpha and omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. God is not God. I tell that thing, beat it, just beat it. Ow! I don't care about what you say. Get out of here, you old dog. Shut the heck up. Right? Basically. All right? Now, this Uranus. It's a masculine noun, perhaps the same as 3735 through the idea of elevation. And then they're looking in the natural, the sky, the whole expanse of the sky. But in the spirit, it's all this thinking process. God's working on all individually as he sees fit. He won't put more on you than you can handle. He'll just stretch you. You'll think, oh! But God knows. You just trust. Keep trusting in that seed. Plus all that he's built in you. All that he's giving you back. Like if you're at level 40 or an 8, trust in that 4 plus 2 plus 1. Those strands twisted. He's equipped you. Plus this 1. That carnal life telling you there ain't nothing there. But it's that seed of Christ. Trust in it with all your heart, all your thought process, in all your ways. And don't lean on your own understanding of that good and bad. And hey, look at all this storm going on here, man. We're going to die. We're going to die. Like those disciples said. On that ship. Speaking the wooden ship. Speaking of you. Young humanistic thinking. Not outward. Not just a person. Inwardly, where you're thinking. God's working on it. Centrifuge. In that storms of life. Separating it. No, choose. See, they went down there and bothered Jesus taking a nap. He's showing you the way to do it. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all this other stuff be added. Don't work yourself to death. Don't worry about flying and running. Oh, bail this water. How long I gotta suffer you? Suffer this bunch of bull. Put a sock in it, you old dog. He's talking to the winds and waves, Jesus was. Be quiet. Be still. Winds and waves went perfectly quiet. That means it's going to take you out of the storm, right? Take you out of the lion's den. Take you out of the fiery furnace. Tell Noah, quit working on that ark. You don't want to, just because God told you to do it, we'll change it. Do it this way. It's a good way. Go over and sit down and have a drink with your buddies. Them ones, that's over here mocking you and making fun of you and laughing and having a good time, it'll calm them down a little bit. That's stupid. You're being disobedient doing that. Don't turn around. You turn the pillar of salt. Boom. Stuck. You red light God doing that. No, keep going. Do what God told you. Don't be deflected. Right? Like that chess tactic. You're here, guard the king. And then if it's overworked, got other things that's guarding. If something takes that, don't all of a sudden go, oh, well, that's a good thing. And try to go take that back. Oh, I want great things over here. And then bam, it checkmates you. Oh, no. Double the troubles. On the day that you eat from that tree of the knowledge of your own good and evil, taking this other thing that they done, he gave up a queen for that. Man, I'll take that thing. You shall surely die. You shall be separated. Boom. Start over again. You didn't learn. Checkmate. But you got to see that autonomized to really do anything about it. You don't see it, you go ahead, well, that looks like I'm winning now. You didn't see this, did you? Pow! So you can't get that increase. by experiencing it. As you experience it and you learn, you take it, I ain't going to take it with this. Is there some other way to take care of that? Nope. I got to stay doing this so I can continue. Keep tightly locked to this. Focus, a child of God. Right? Okay. Now, it's going down this Huranos, be elevated. See, God's elevated ways, his desires, his love beyond description and mere words is the upper region. And our own carnal righteousness is like the lower region. And whenever you burn it, God's burning up that stuff, chopping out, skimming out, way up, right? Burns it up, it's transformed and always in the upper manner, speaking of up into his righteousness. It's superior to the old man, that old righteousness, that old red man thinking, ooh, yuck, Adamic man. Okay, we must die to ourselves, okay? Now, I'm about to run out of time, but let's see, I'll start the next word. It's, hang on a minute. Yeah, it's not even translated in here, but it's EI. 1487, this word.
Strong's G, 1487. I.
Okay. I'll have to continue there next time. That was recording spiritual toolbox number 228. Thank you. Bye-bye.